Hello, I'm Cassie and welcome to episode 6 of my allotment journey. And I'm joined today by a very special guest. Come into the camera, John.
Go into the camera. I'm John.
This is indeed John, and John is my very kind and generous allotment neighbour who has donated me part of his lovely plot. Haven't you, John?
The very best part.
And are you regretting this, John?
I am. Because the potatoes...
Let's have a look at these potatoes. Really great potatoes.
About a foot higher than mine.
Are they really?
Yes.
Are they that much better than yours? I think they do look rather splendid. These are my potatoes.
And
in John's plot.
Look at the cover. They're killing all the weeds.
They are. Eventually, because we've had a lot, haven't we? Should we have a look at your potatoes,
Yes,
John?
we can.
We'll move swiftly over the compost bin.
Starting to cry.
No, but there's nothing wrong with these potatoes, John. Nothing wrong at all.
Covered the ground.
Well, they're all right. They're all right.
So
let's have a look. So what are you worried about? You worried about the gaps between?
yes.
Oh. Well,
I have been earthing them up with some of my superior compost.
We'll have a look at John's compost a little bit later in the video because it's really splendid. And here, John, what's all this here?
I've been thinning these out.
This is your little nursery bed of
yes, I have some gaps.
And they've gone right up to there under that netting, have they? Excellent.
And I've just realised I haven't netted them.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's a school.
Very much so. The pigeons will be in.
Okay, so thank you, John, for coming and saying hello on my YouTube video, and we hope to have many more appearances. You're going to tell us lots of interesting stories because John has always got a story to tell, haven't you, John?
I have, unfortunately.
So, while I'm here, I thought it might be a good opportunity to introduce you to the other bit of land that I've been given the use of, as well as the plots I have already, because I'm waiting to get yet another plot that's actually mine. Apparently I'm number 5 on the list, so it shouldn't be too long. But in the meantime, I've very kindly been given the use of this plot. So yeah, lots of black plastic, and that's because when the council prepared it, they rotivated it, and it's full of couch grass. So I just thought, because I'm not going to be able to invest, I'm not going to be building beds or anything like that here because it's only temporary use. The best thing to do would be to cover it with the heavy duty plastic and grow through that. So I've got a number of things going through here. This is the sunnier part of the site. I've put kind of the sun loving crops here, as well as a bit here, which just looks a bit like a load of weeds at the moment, but is actually a wildflower bed, and they're coming up nicely, lots of different ones. There are some weeds amongst them, but we'll have lots of cornflowers, for example, and I think a few zinnias and straw flowers and all sorts of things coming up here. So really looking forward to that coming through later on. But for the moment here, what I actually have here is a wheelbarrow, a nice pink wheelbarrow full of fleece, which I've just taken off all of these plants because I was coming home from a trip to London last night and saw on Facebook that there was going to be a 3-degree potential frost. So I rushed up here in the evening and covered it all with fleece, which was a bit of a job and a half. But yeah, up here I've got, I think, about 17 different squash, courgettes and pumpkin plants, mostly doing well. I've got a couple of little ones I'm slightly more concerned about, but I've got plenty of replacements. Up in the top corner you probably can't see, but there's a few tomatoes. I'm not going to walk on it because I know it's quite slippy and hard to work on actually, but I've put some outdoor tomatoes there. I've put a large bed of sweet corn, and that's coming up nicely. I've cut holes in the plastic for them to go through. Now, this is the one bit I got very excited when I first got given the use of the plot, and put a traditional cardboard and compost no-dig bed on. Didn't know quite what to do with it, but at the moment I've put my beans there to grow. So I've got beans in all of the sites now, but yeah, these are, now the first lot I put in aren't actually, let's go across this bit, they're not doing too well. Yeah, if we look, there's quite a lot of withering. Now, whether it's been too cold for them, and this was before last night's cold weather, but yeah, what I'm pleased about though is that the inner leaves are doing well. I mean, they look alive and well. Even that one that's really shriveled, its inner leaves, the growth leaves are all doing okay. So hopefully we'll get those to recover, and some more beans here to grow up these different structures. So yeah, that's my extra plot, and hopefully we'll get a good harvest from that too. So I was just returning to my main plot when I had a call from from John to say that I ought to be looking at his compost pit box bin. That's it. So we're going to go and take a look at John's compost bin. So here's John and his compost bin. Well, John, that's looking pretty amazing. Tell me all about your compost bin.
It's rather superb. I don't weed. I produce fodder for my compost.
Yes, because whenever I say, "Are you weeding?" you say, "No, I'm not weeding."
No, I'm doing something positive. And if I hand this back to Kathy, I will handful. Look at that monkey.
Oh, hang on. Oh, look at the quality of that. Can I? Oh,
you can.
Look at that. That feels. That's touching it with the mic. That's not such a great idea. But that looks and feels amazing. I bet you're proud of that. What are you going to do with it?
It's growing on my potatoes. I'm afraid it's beyond superb.
Is this the best compost you've ever had?
Apart from the lot when the rats took over the heap, and they stirred it all up.
Right. So what's your secret, John, to good compost?
Care and attention. Praying every night. I don't know.
Well, it's very good anyway. It's nearly as good as mine. Excellent. I can see though a potato. So make sure.
Yeah, that was growing in there.
It is, well, yeah. Well,
there's another one that was growing in the compost.
You gonna have that for your tea?
Yeah, and nothing has attacked it.
No.
Compost is full of worms and creepy crawlies, and that is in pristine condition. I mean, yeah, that is worth a lot of money.
I'm sure it is, John. John, I am noticing, this is a question you can answer maybe, what in your view? Look, I'm spotting here an eggshell, another eggshell, not composted. So should we, do you think, be composting eggshells?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you think we might need to mash them up a bit first?
I mash them up once they're going in the ground.
Okay. So you mash them at that point?
I do.
Mash them at some point anyway.
With my glove-covered paws.
Glove.
Oh, look.
What? What's the matter? You've got a hole.
I've got a hole.
Listen, everybody, if you wish to donate, crowdfund a new pair of gloves for John. Well,
that's sad,
just let me know and comment.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. It's a Saturday morning on the Maybank holiday weekend, and I'm here at my southern allotment for a big plant out. One of several that I've had in recent weeks, but there's just so much. Maybe I've sown too much, maybe I'm trying to plant more than I need to, but nevertheless there's lots to go out. So let's have a look. It's all sat in the boot of my car at the moment. So there we have it. Several dahlia plants from my massive collection now. I've got some additional squashes, some more sweet corn, some cucumbers, and some beans to go out today. So we've got to try and find space for all of those. Wish me luck. So first load of crops loaded up in the barrow, and let's take them through. I'm doing quite well actually, one-handed here. Good balancing exercise. I've got one of those two-wheeled barrows here that a bit like they use in garden centres, because it's a bit easier, I find, for wheeling crops about, trays and harvest and so on. So Right, so I have now cleared the turnip and pak choy bed. I've just left the sunflowers and a stray poppy at the end there. So I'll sort them out later, but that's going to be now my cucumber bed. I've got the pak choy in the basket ready to sort later. And there's my turnip haul, which is not overwhelming, but then it's the first time I've ever grown turnips, and I can't say that I'd actually need a lot more than that. I'm thinking what to make with them, maybe a turnip soup or something like that, give it a go. Anyway, whoa, got to get blown away here, so now I need to work out how I'm going to support the cucumbers and get some sort of structure up. I always like doing that bit. So that was a stroke of luck or genius or both. I had these hooped bamboo canes that somebody had given me tucked away behind my bench. Got loads of the straight bamboo canes, so I fixed them on together, put them in the earth, fixed them together with a top cane, and then I found in my magic cupboard a net, which looks to be exactly the right size for what I want for my cucumbers. But I've actually had the foresight not to fix it down yet until I've put the cucumbers in place. So I'm going to do that now. So, job done, I think. Anyway, yes, so 4 little cucumber plants. I've been very restrained, unusually for me. So 3 mini munch cucumbers and 1 dragon's egg cucumber, just to try it out. I don't know if that's going to grow well outside, but let's give it a go. Really pleased with that. Only 1,000,001 other things to plant now, and I've taken ages over this, but it's made me happy, so that's the main thing. So now, on to the next task.
And the next task was to plant out some sweet corn, pumpkin, courgette and squash plants in the gaps that I had in between potatoes and strawberries that I've got growing on John's plot. So that I covered that area with compost, and it had already been lightly dug over beforehand by John some weeks ago, and I've been keeping it clear of weeds. So popped in the pumpkin plants and covered them, put shells and copper wire around them. Got a couple more plants within the strawberry area that's not really doing very much at the end of John's plot there.
So I'm here at my northern allotment, and hat's looking a bit wonky. Never mind, it's keeping the sun off doing its job. So yeah, I've had a little bit of a busy time. I decided that the beds of radishes that I had that are kind of mostly bolted and didn't appear to be doing anything, I'd pull them all up and replace them with some squash, well, courgette or pumpkin plants, so that they had the space to grow there alongside the onions and garlic, which are going to be coming up fairly soon. So that seemed like a really good idea. So I pulled them all up, and I've got, this isn't even all of it. These are what I've got, loads of leaves, but I also have got some nice radishes tucked in and amongst them. So what I'm going to do, I've got myself a bucket of water, and I'm going to trim them down, see what's edible from them, and then put them together as like a package of radishes that looks slightly more interesting and edible than what I've got. So let's see how we get on. So I'm going to get my secateurs out. I'm getting serious when the secateurs come out. Do you know, with these, they're really nice ones, but I really find the little thing that catch that stops them can be quite fiddly. So I just went few minutes doing all that, and yeah, we have a pile of discarded radish things here, but it was all a bit pointless in the end because I've still got some in the bucket, but I started to put them in a pot, and then I tasted them, and they're just all really woody and yuck. I think it's because they bolted. Obviously, it's because they bolted. But I thought they'd be still nice when they look nice, but they're really not. So it's just not worth it. Never mind. You win some, you lose some. They're all going to go on the compost heap. But there's lots of other lovely things to eat from the allotment as it is. So yeah, lesson learned. So it's now 7:30 in the evening, and I need to go home and get packed for my holiday. It's just amazing how fast the time flies when you're here at the allotment. So I've been a bit busy. I've been doing some trimming and trying to remove some of the weeds, but I've just had to come to the conclusion that the weeds are going to have to wait till I'm back in a week or so. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, at the moment the sun is kind of beginning to set. And well, it's got quite a long way before it sets, but it's going down, obviously. Yeah, behind me, the lupins. I just keep going back to the lupins and the bees in them. They are so beautiful. But yeah, I'll just do a quick little tour as I walk back through the allotment so that we can see how things are doing. Yeah, so there's the lupins in all of their glory, together with some of the foxgloves. It's just looking beautiful, absolutely love it. Earlier in the week I came and planted some dahlia plants, and they look to have taken well, so I've got 3 in there. On my rose that I thought I might have killed is in bud, so hopefully when I come back from my holiday that will be all beautiful. So my beetroot is still looking disappointing here. It's just sat there doing absolutely nothing, so not quite sure what I've done wrong there. I've had some peas off some little pea pods. They're starting to come out. I've chopped down now my winter salad bed, which is now just looking like a mess, a different sort of mess. I think what I will do is make that into a proper bed by putting some cardboard and compost down when I get back. There's my lettuces looking lovely, and yeah, I've had some leaves off those, and I'll have some more when I get back. My asparagus bed is looking underwhelming, to say the least. It is full of weeds. I just haven't had a chance to weed it. And I've been really unimpressed that none of what do you call them? None of the crowns, that's it. None of the asparagus crowns that I've put in have come up. I have had some, the ones I've put in from seed seem to have taken okay, so that's something anyway. My brassicas, I changed the netting arrangement to take them all in and did some weeding earlier in the week, so they're looking really healthy. So I've got some red Russian kale there, there's cabbages, cauliflowers, all sorts in there. Again, my pea shoots are flowering and looking really pretty. The carrots are full of weeds but doing really, really well underneath. I pulled a few little ones earlier in the week. I'm going to really give that bed a good clear out and a thinning when I get back. Same with the leeks behind them. We've had some strawberries. I've netted the strawberries to protect them against birds, but unfortunately they're still being got at by snails. I think it's snails rather than slugs have been eating them. So, but there are some berries underneath there, and I'm hoping that when I come back there'll be some to nibble. And my pumpkin arch is doing quite well. The plants seem to be alive, if not doing a great deal at the moment. And in the middle I put some dwarf French beans. And here's my cucumber bed. I've put 2 different sorts of cucumber in there, and also an experiment with couple of little okra plants, so we'll see how those come on. My parsnips are apparently the envy of the site. A lot of people find it hard to get them to germinate, but mine have going mad, which is more than can be said for my little beans here. My little purple beans are doing absolutely nothing. I've dotted in some flowers next to them to add a bit of colour, and I've put some celery in next to the garlic and the neighbours. The onions are still bolting, but I'm not going to worry about that. They'll be nice and fresh to eat, and then I'll have some others to come up afterwards. And I've popped in, where I took out the radishes, I've popped in a pumpkin. No, that's a patty pan. And I've planted a spaghetti squash over there to fill in the gaps when the garlic come out. I have pulled a few garlic. Well, actually, I thought I had some spring onions in the winter salad bed, and then I came to pull them up. It turned out to be garlic, so they're not brilliant. But I'm rather pleased with this one, which came out of the main garlic bed, not garlic bread, and that's going to go to my mum. So, yeah, I think that's enough of a tour for now. It's all looking very verdant. I'm looking forward to my holiday very much, but I'm also looking forward to coming back and carrying on with my allotment journey. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Thank you if you have, and I would love to hear from you as to where you're all watching from and what you're doing in the allotments or gardens or anything at the moment. So take care everyone. Bye bye.